What's up, guys? Thomas Mott here. Happy Saturday. Getting ready for another weekend of NFL football minus the Philadelphia Eagles. We normally do it on Friday, but here we go. We're jumping into the hottest Eagle takes of the week, hottest NFL takes in general. It's Undisputed. We got good stuff from Cowboy beat writers, Nick Wright from First Things First. A lot of really hot takes regarding the Philadelphia Eagles. They're getting a little bit colder because the Eagles are undefeated, but still fun to dive into this. Let's just jump right into Skip Bayless. Say what you want about Skip Bayless. His impressive career as a media guy at least earns my respect. He says ridiculous things all the time. It's fun to actually see him, though, compliment the Eagles, because this is the biggest Cowboy fan that you can even possibly come close to watching in terms of like a national media show. Even Skip Bayless cannot deny the greatness of Jalen Hurts and the chance that he could actually win MVP. Listen to Skip just the other day.
I began to tell you soon after the Eagles stole Jalen Hurts in the second round of that draft that he will change life in Philadelphia.
Yes.
I just believe in him in every way, shape, and form. I never said he was the greatest thrower of the football, but he might have improved in a couple of years' time as much as I've ever seen anybody improve at this level of football.
He's improved like Josh Allen. You remember what Josh Allen was his rookie year? And then they gave him Stephon Diggs and boom, boom, boom. Well, they gave him A.J. Brown, and the next thing you know,
boom, boom, boom.
We're having a conversation about MVP.
You got to at least respect the fact that everybody understands that it's not just the fact that they got him targets, it's the fact that Jalen Hurts has improved. This doesn't happen a lot in the National Football League. If you don't do great things by year two, think Patrick Mahomes and Josh Allen, you're just discarded, thrown to the wayside. And the fact that they waited on Hurts to go ahead and improve, and the fact he got that much better is really, really good.
We are. I tweeted immediately that day when they stole him in the second round that he is better than Carson Wentz as we speak and will always be better than Carson Wentz. And I believe that held true.
Yes.
I just think, and we're just about halfway through, he has been the MVP so far. And I can't even do it with the numbers because Josh's numbers, as I look down, are a little better. Mm-hmm. Like
even
Josh's
Russian numbers are better than
slightly.
This is the whole argument, and we can move on from this one. I just wanted to hear him say that he wants to use an MVP so far this year. Josh's numbers might be better, and maybe Josh Allen is a better quarterback, but you just got to take into the account of where we were in terms of last year Josh Allen versus this year, last year Jalen Hurts versus this year. I agree with Skip. I think your MVP of the league so far this year is Jalen Hurts. There's a big difference between Josh Allen and Jalen Hurts, at least the one big one. Josh Allen has a loss on his record. Philadelphia and Jalen Hurts do not. So we'll keep an eye on this. It's fun, though. It's fun to see Skip get all upset because Skip's an Oklahoma guy and believed in Hurts coming out of Oklahoma and wanted his Cowboys to take Jalen Hurts. Didn't happen. Now he's on his biggest rival and most feared adversary, Philadelphia, and it's fun to see even Skip Bayless mention that Jalen Hurts can be MVP this year. How about a tweet? Normally we do videos. We'll do one here in just a second. Look at this one. This is from Clarence Hill, who, if you don't know who Clarence Hill is, he is a beat writer covering the Dallas Cowboys for, I think, the Dallas Star Tribune. I think that's what it is. This tweet came out yesterday morning. This is really fun. Quote, "The Eagles are still undefeated, but they are no juggernauts. They are living on borrowed time. They are not the best team in the NFL, despite their record. The NFC is wide open. That's a fact. Argue with your mama." Now, again, what team does Clarence Hill cover? Wait for it, the Dallas Cowboys. Yes, so he's like, they're undefeated, not a juggernaut, though. If you don't think the Eagles are a juggernaut after watching them for 8 straight weeks, you might not be actually watching them. And Clarence is obviously watching more Cowboy games than Eagle games, so they're on borrowed time. What does that mean? Does that mean they're going to lose eventually? Sure. They're probably going to lose a game at some point. Borrowed time, though. The NFC, it's not necessarily wide open, guys. There are a lot of bad football teams there. There's only a couple that can actually win the NFC overall and go to the Super Bowl. Philadelphia is one. Dallas, maybe just on that fringe. Borrowed time. Goodness gracious. You love non-biased beat writers. Non-biased. He's not biased, guys, at all. Not biased. Let's go over here to Lovie Smith. This was a really good quote here. Just quickly, John Clark has this one. This is the post-game press conference. Lovie Smith raving about Jalen Hurts and the fact he's the most improved player in the league.
First off, Jalen Hurts, I made a statement this past week. I think he's improved more than every player in the NFL. Outstanding player and he can throw the ball and he's mobile. He's a big guy to bring down. First off,
this is some good stuff from Lovie Smith, and he did say it earlier on in the week. I just don't think we fully grasp how much he's improved. And think about this, right? We talk about Jalen's improved so much all the time here on the Thomas Mott Show. What does he do next year? Right? What if he keeps doing this, right? Because he started doing this, and then it really jumped this year. What if it keeps going up? What if it doesn't come down? Then you could be putting him in the Josh Allen category, and you could be putting him in the Lamar Jackson category, Patrick Mahomes' category next year. Not saying it's a guarantee, but everyone keeps saying, even really good coaches, whether you think Lovie Smith is or not, people who understand football more than you and me, understand the improvement this guy's had. Really, really fun to see. Okay, we'll get to an ESPN clip and then a first things first clip here to go ahead and finish the Thomas Mott Show on a Saturday. First, though, we mentioned this just the other day. A lot of you guys signed up for DraftKings using my link, bet $5 on the Eagles, and got those $200 in free bets, and this is still going for Sunday's games. Now, the Eagles don't play on Sunday. You can still use my link down below that takes you to the TFM page. Sign up for DraftKings, deposit that $5+, and place a $5 money line bet on any team to win, and if that bet hits, if the team wins, you get the $200 back in free bets. All the info is on this link. A lot of you guys keep mentioning, hey, I won my bet last night. I try to tell you guys, I got the DraftKings links hookup for you, all down below in the description box. Go ahead and get your account signed up using my link. Put that deposit down. Pick a winner this weekend. There's a lot of chances for winners. We'll talk more about the weekend games here in a little bit, but jump in on this deal right now. It is a really cool thing to have DraftKings a part of the show with an affiliate link. Okay, how about this question? This is a really, really good one here from the Keyshawn, J. Will, and Max show. I'm not sure what they call this, KJM. I haven't listened to this show that much, but it's a really, really good question in terms of, is this the most talented Eagle team ever? Take a listen.
Yo, is this the most talented Eagles team ever? Like, when you look at A.J. Brown, you look at Devontae Smith, like that talent that they have. You look at Jalen Hurts in the MVP conversation, should be maybe leading the MVP conversation. You look at Miles Sanders and the way he's playing from a running back position. You look at their defense, bringing Robert Quinn on board, Fletcher Cox. You have like 5 Pro Bowlers on this defense. Is it the most talented Eagles team ever?
I don't. The teams that I played against in the playoffs, those teams were talented. They had Donovan McNabb. They had Deuce Staley in the backfield. They had Westbrook in the backfield. The receivers were not what the Eagles have now. Their secondary was loaded with Troy Brown and Bobby Taylor.
It's like Gary Slade and James Bradbury. I mean, all right.
They secondary was loaded. They had linebackers and Levon Kirkland and company. Hugh Douglas on the defensive line. This team, now that you got me thinking, this team might be slightly more talented because of the receiver position. Their receivers were, they were just guys out there with numbers on as far as I was concerned. They were talented. Those Andy Reid teams were very talented.
This is going to be a really good discussion, I think, later on in the year, maybe after the season is over. I think Keyshawn lays it out pretty well. The 2004, right? The 2004 Super Bowl team, 2003, 2004, whatever you want to call it, it was pretty loaded. They had a really good running back in Brian Westbrook. The offensive line, I think John Runyon, Trey Thomas. The defensive line, Javon Curse was great that year. Obviously, Hugh Douglas. You get to Sheldon Brown, Lito Shepherd, Brian Dawkins on the backside. But maybe the receivers were a little bit better. He might be poo-pooing Freddie Mitchell and Todd Pinkston a little bit. Fred X out there, wherever he's at these days. But they did have T.O., and so you kind of make that comparison. I would take this team. I think it's a little bit better. I think the current year right now is a little bit better. I think it's for sure better than the 2017 team, and that team won a Super Bowl. I just think that overall, the cornerbacks make this team way, way better than people realize. And I think if you go back to 2017, it was Darby and Mills, and they were, serviceable, right? They did a good job. They won a Super Bowl, right? I can't say serviceable. They were good. But I think the cornerbacks of this football team is what really sets them apart. They have the 2 best cornerbacks in the NFC right now. In terms of statistically, they're playing better than all the rest of the cornerbacks in the National Football League, and I think that makes a massive, massive difference, especially come playoff time when you got to play CeeDee Lamb, or you got to play Mike Evans, or you get to the Super Bowl, you got to play Stephon Diggs. I think the corners are what sets them apart. I think that it is better. Maybe not by much, and I'm not going to poo-poo Donovan McNabb. He was great that year. But I would take this team over any Eagle team in my history, and I've been alive for 26 years. So credit to Keyshawn for mentioning it's a little bit better. All right, final one here. Nick Wright, my old buddy Nick Wright. Wish Nick Wright would come on my show. I haven't been able to go ahead and get him on the show. But let's go ahead and take a listen to what Nick Wright had to say about the Eagles.
We talked about it on the show. I openly laughed about the idea that, Philly's going to be 14-3 in the 1 seed. They're going to be 14-3 in the 1 seed. Yeah. And Jalen is playing
I mean, yesterday might have been the best game of the season for him. A.J. Brown was obviously sensational. The Steelers had no answers. Philly looks
Is there any scenario that Philly goes undefeated? I think there is.
Do you think there is?
Yeah.
Just because of the schedule or because you like them that much?
The schedule. I mean, just given what they've already done, I don't really see anything. I mean, I could see them maybe being plagued with injuries, but besides that, man, I don't know.
Here's what hurts them, or it hurts the chances of that. Divisional games are almost always the toughest games. We just talked about how that the NFC East is 16-3 outside of the division. They still have 4 divisional games.
He's right about the divisional games. I don't think they're going to go undefeated. I really don't. And I think going undefeated would hinder their Super Bowl chances. Doesn't kill it, and I'm not going to say it'd be bad, but I do think they will lose games. I think Tennessee, with the running game that they have, Jordan Davis probably not back in that one. I think Tennessee is probably the first loss on the schedule. Maybe a slip up against the Giants once because the Giants are playing well. Maybe you lose the Cowboy game on December 24th because you're so far ahead that you're focused on Christmas. 14-3 I think is a legit reality. I think Nick Wright and a lot of people didn't think it could be possible. I think I said 12 wins at the start of the year. You can go back to Thomas Mott show. I don't remember what it was. I think I said 12 wins when I started this show. I don't remember. I think it's fun, though. Isn't it just fun? Let's at least just admit that. Isn't it just fun that the Eagles are playing so well that people are talking about undefeated season, right? The last time Philadelphia was even close to an undefeated season, they were 7-0 and then lost to the Steelers back in 2003 to 2004 season. And the fact they're 8-0 now with a very winnable schedule the rest of the way, man, it's a fun time to be alive. A very fun time to be alive as an Eagle fan. All right, we're going to wrap up this Saturday edition of the Thomas Mott Show as we always do before Sunday, and that is looking ahead to the slate of games, what matters for the NFL in general, NFC, Philadelphia, division. It doesn't matter in terms of what we want to talk about. We'll talk about it all, right? So here we go. Let's just go through these. Chargers, Falcons, doesn't matter for Philadelphia, but Atlanta is one of those football teams just to circle, because if they win their division, you could play them in the divisional round for your first playoff game if the Eagles are the 1 seed, right? Atlanta could be a 4 seed if they were to win their game, and the 2 seed wins their game, then Atlanta would go to Philadelphia. So just keep an eye on them. Very beatable football team, but a good matchup against the Chargers, whose defense has been terrible this year. Dolphins, Bears is not a big matchup in terms of Philadelphia, but fun to see what the Dolphins are able to do. I call them the Eagles of the AFC just because of the coach and, Tua versus Hurts and stuff. So I like the Dolphins. Panthers, Bengals, again, not a big factor in terms of Philadelphia. Cincinnati has got to just figure out the offensive line. Cincinnati is having a Super Bowl hangover this year that could be solved very quickly if they draft well next year. Put an offensive line in Cincinnati, and they're going to be a juggernaut in the AFC for a very long time. Packers, Lions. Can the Lions finally win a close game? Their offense rocks. They score all these points. They can't stop anybody. They cannot stop anybody. 1-6. You could really put Green Bay, running here if you put them to their 6th loss of the year. You could really mess up Green Bay's chances of even making the playoffs if Detroit wins in this one. I'm very excited to see what could happen there. Colts, Patriots, meh factor. These are average football teams in the AFC. Bills, Jets. The Jets are the worst 5-win football team right now. It was a fun story. They are probably going to get absolutely murked by the Buffalo Bills here. 11.5-point favorites on the road. That tells you all you need to know. Commanders, Vikings. Okay, the Commanders are playing better with Taylor Heineke. I told you that. I thought that they would. Good matchup here against the Vikings. I think you root for the Commanders here because Minnesota is your 1 threat for the 1 seed right now. Need them to have some more losses, and you feel good about the Eagles' chances next Monday night. And so we're definitely pulling for Taylor Heineke and the Commanders against those pesky Vikings. Jags, Raiders, doesn't matter here. One of them wins, meaning it worsens their draft pick, helping the Eagles with that Saints pick. Seahawks, Cardinals. Got to pull for the Cardinals here. Seattle is pesky. Another team you could face in the divisional round if you're Philadelphia. I'm going to pull Cardinals on that one. Bucks, Rams. This was supposed to be billed as like the game of the week, and then both teams have been pretty bad this year. You could put Brady basically down and out at 6 losses if they were to lose. Good one on Sunday night. Good look at Tennessee to see if they are as legit as their 5 straight win record shows them. And then, of course, big Raven fans on Monday night against the Saints. If the Ravens were to win, hurts the Saints pick, or helps the Eagles pick, hurts the Saints pick, overall. Okay, if you want to give me my lock of the week, how about just a lock of the week, okay? Now you can use my DraftKings link down below, put the money line here, lock of the week, win that $200 in free bets. No guarantee, obviously I can't predict the future, but let me just give you my lock of the week. My lock of the week is going to be, let's think about this here. I didn't even think about this before. Lock of the week. I'll give you Bills as the lock, and I'll give you upset will be Commanders. How about that? There you go. I'll give you 2. Bills is the lock. Upset is the Commanders. I take the Commanders +3 against Minnesota up there at FedEx Field. If you guys want to jump in with my DraftKings link, you can do it down below. There you go. Always fun to react, right? I like this little show. It's fun to react to all of the little hot takes on the Eagles, the national media, try to hold them accountable a little bit. Thumbs up for that. Be sure to subscribe. We'll be talking to you guys next week here on the Thomas Mott Show. See you guys.